And welcome to, I'm not going to say which number this is because it gets jumbled around and then
I'm guessing 3, but
I don't know if it's going to be.
Welcome to this episode of How Not to Be an Asshole. We're your hosts.
Do we have to keep introducing ourselves? I just think by now people know.
Nah, because what if they just jump straight to this one?
I'm Dominic, and I used to call myself Tourette sometimes.
Yeah, I'm Todd Williams, aka Louis Nux, aka official cigarette supplier of the How Not to Be an Asshole podcast.
Boy. And on the fucking laptop, we got the one and the only.
I'm Dan.
Dan Morberries.
The real estate mogul / pain technical professor.
Exile. That's right.
It wasn't a rap name, but
it's a bit of a depressing name, isn't it?
But
it sort of sums up loneliness and, being ostracized. But that wasn't the case at all.
It's because he had to get the...
taking me back there, no?
You were like the epicenter of Breckenridge.
It was because he had to get the fuck out of... Where are you from? Nelson. Exile from Nelson, which seems like a pretty wise move if you ask me.
Yeah, that place sucks.
Yeah.
Is that a controversial thing to say?
Dunno.
I've never played a good gig there.
I don't.
What about that one we played when did you come to that?
Dude,
one of the many tours that you went on.
And
everyone destroyed the hotel. And there's a Cobb & Co below the hotel. I didn't know. This is recently.
Oh.
I didn't know Cobb & Co still existed. And we played, there were more people on stage than in the audience.
Yeah, that's...
Literally.
Kind of like the other night. We had a good show the other night.
It was a good show, though.
Yeah, it was cool as fuck.
It was actually one of the funnest shows I've done in a while.
Yeah, same. I actually had a great
time.
time.
Even though there was half a dozen people there.
Yeah.
Maybe we could introduce our guest.
Oh, we're just...
Hold on.
Sorry, Dan.
Sorry, Dan. Before we introduce our...
He runs a tight ship.
Before we introduce our guest, though, we need to thank once again Miss Leon Taylor for doing our design.
Thank you, Leon.
Cameron Robinson, is it Robertson? Robinson Photography for doing the photos. And someone else, Matt Short and Dom for doing the theme song.
Thank you, Matt and Dom.
Okay.
Today's guest, do you want to do the intro this time?
Yeah, shall I do it? Alright, today's guest is...
You're tapping on the table.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and you told me not to.
Sorry. Today's guest is Elliot Francis Stewart. He's an artist from Grey Lynn. Probably one of our favourite artists, Dom?
Yeah, my favourite artist.
What else does he do? Member of Graffiti Crew's RSC and TMD.
That's right.
And what else?
He's given me nits twice.
I think I've given Dom nits twice.
That should go straight on the bio.
And just, would you call yourself a cultural ambassador?
Nah, I'm just a cartoonist, man.
No, you're not just a cartoonist.
You're a bit more than that.
If you're just a cartoonist, you wouldn't be here. We've got a stringent policy, vetting policy.
Yeah, I don't have nits anymore.
Really?
Yeah, that's a bonus.
So there's no chance of me getting nits again?
Still a chance, but I don't have
both times that I got nits, I went back to Australia and gave them to people there. And the second time it happened, everyone's just like, what the fuck is going on?
Australians don't get nits.
No.
They're
it's like, what else did it...
maybe.
What's that?
Al said that they're cleaner, and I said maybe.
I don't know what's that. Nits, and what's the other thing? Meningitis. They don't get meningitis.
Well, it's not damp and they don't throw all their children in one space.
Like we do here in good old New Zealand.
So you just got back from Australia, though, didn't you?
Yep.
How was that?
First trip overseas?
Yep. No, first time in Australia.
Oh yeah.
And I
First
love
time in Australia?
First time.
Are you fucking serious?
Yep.
Crazy.
I love it. I didn't know. When you go to another city, you know you're going to a city. So you're like, oh, Miami is a city.
Yeah.
You know, what is a city? Berlin is a city.
Yeah.
And I just didn't... I always knew Sydney was a city and Melbourne was a city, but I just thought that they would be like Auckland.
Yeah, but they're quite different, eh?
They're actual cities.
Yeah. Did you find as like... it's good to go there as a visiting artist because that's kind of like where art and culture goes to die. So you kind of stand out because you're like good at art.
I'm wanting to go there and die. I just think, fuck it, might as well.
Yeah.
You know.
But I guess for what you're doing would be one of the few things I think you could do in Australia and be successful and not have to curtail to their weird fucking tastes.
Yeah, hard out.
You know?
Yeah.
And also there's that honeymoon period. I'm not saying that's necessarily what you're going through, like you might.
Oh, I'd definitely leave straight after the honeymoon. Like I might only go for like a holidays.
Yeah.
But frequent holidays.
Yeah.
But some people just love it, like Caleb, like he's killing it there and he's been there for like 12 years or something and
Yeah, true that.
you know.
I definitely didn't do anything when I was there, and I felt like it was because it's, you know, your first day of school, you don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
Even your first year of school, you just don't say anything until it's your second year of school where you've decided, I own school now.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I found it just so weird when I first went there having a disposable income for the first time.
Yeah, that's
I was
crazy.
like, oh my
eh?
God, I can do stuff and buy a pair of shoes
Yeah.
and eat out and pay the rent.
That's
Yeah.
that-
Eat.
Yeah.
After I moved back, so in Australia, working class people have heaps of cash, like, well, comparatively to New Zealand. So your friends come over to drink and they turn up with boxes of 24. And then, like, I came back home and kicking it at Franklin Road at Haz's house. And, like, every time I go to the bottle store, because Haz never leaves the house, he just gives you money. And he's given me, like, I reckon on about 3 occasions in his chip-ins, he's included bronze 10-cent pieces.
Yeah.
And that illustrates the difference between how people are doing in
And Haz is
Australia
one of
and
our
other things.
successful friends too.
Yeah.
You know, we have to get him on one day.
Mm. Yeah, I think, are we going to get all Dynamite?
I'd like to.
Mm.
I think it might be a tall ask though.
Yeah. What are we discussing in, so the fucking, kind of loath to bring this up, but the X Factor bullshit.
Does anyone here watch reality television? You watch television sometimes, don't you?
I love television, but I haven't been watching that one.
No,
Yeah.
you wouldn't. So, what are my points about this? Fucking 800,000 of taxpayer money from New Zealand On Air goes to this fucking nonsense. The whole country, a good portion of the country fucking watches it, and it's just fucking garbage. They have talentless hacks for judges. And then people, like, I think the thing that gets me is people are complaining about it like they expect something of worth from this shit.
Yeah,
which
it's like
is
it's fucking reality television. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Who are they?
The
I
judges.
only know Stan Walker, and I think he's okay.
Did he
Yeah.
won some other competition? Isn't that how he got on there?
Probably.
I think he might have, New Zealand Idol or some shit.
The Australian one, I think.
Oh, okay.
He's like a nice person. You kind of get
Yeah,
that.
he seems like a nice person.
Yeah.
The rest of them seem like assholes.
The blonde lady from, what's her band?
I don't even know who she is.
All states.
All Saints.
Oh, right.
So she's English as well.
I
Yeah.
think, is that Natalia Czech English?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so, but I think she lives in America.
I mean, to be honest, I'd never heard of her until yesterday. So
I think, where I was going with this was my story about, I don't know if I should mention his name because he didn't want to, we're going to get my friend on to Skype us to tell us his story about Willy Moon. So Willy Moon's originally from Wellington, and he broke into our friend's church and pissed on the floor. So
what did our friend do?
our friend hit him around the mouth with a piece of 2x4. And his words to me this morning when he was describing it, he was like, you should have seen all the blood and the look on his face. And because I was feeling quite pissed off this morning because fuck, that shit's inescapable. And I was like, man, I hope I see that guy so I can fucking spit at him. And then I heard that story and all
Just
was
made you
right with the world.
It made you feel warm.
Yeah, I felt so much better.
But yeah, I mean, it's pretty horrible what they. I mean, it's hard to have sympathy for someone that goes on one of those shows, you know, like the contestant. But at the same time, it's like to belittle that poor dude, you know. And you'd
Yeah.
be, you know, like he's probably not used to being in public as well.
No.
Like if someone did that to one of us, you know, we're used to public speaking. It's
Yeah.
like you can cut him down, but
Yeah.
in that situation, it'd be like, fuck.
Yeah.
Did he cry?
No, he handled
it pretty well.
Yeah. He was just kind of like,
Didn't he say something about her looking like Cleopatra or something?
no, I think Stan Walker said that.
Oh, okay.
See, good old Stan.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe we should try and get Stan on here.
Yeah. The good guy from X Factor.
Because it is overwhelming doing that shit. Like I went on Good Morning, and then once I left, I thought I was going to cry because
Yeah.
it was just so intense.
Terrifying,
What were you
eh?
doing on there?
Nothing, and I wanted to speak. I remember I was like, oh, I'll speak. And then the only thing I could do was pick up the glass of water and drink the water. And
Was that while they asking you questions?
yeah, I was freaking out. And then it was all over before it had even begun. And then I was outside in the car park, and I was definitely coming down from something overwhelming.
Yeah, but TV's hard like that though, you know, like I don't think I've ever been on TV and been proud of what I've done, you know?
Nah, neither. It's the same with radio at first, even. Like, it took me a while.
Yeah, there's nothing worse like when I went into some poetry the other day and I was halfway through my poem on BFM and then you suddenly remember that there's like fucking thousands of people listening to you. And just everything starts falling apart, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, what is this having a chat?
That's what I don't understand. Like, fuck, we're up there the other night, and Tom and Lance were just freestyling, and they were like killing it as well. And I was like, fuck doing that on live radio, man. You could say anything, like, you know, when you just totally lose it and you're scrambling, you could just say something ridiculous. Like, too old to be fucking put in that position.
No, I've made a fucking fool of myself freestyling on the radio plenty of times. You just start off, hey yo, and then it's like, oh, I got nothing.
Speaking of freestyling, I think the first time I met Els was at our house on School Road, and it was the first time I met all the RFC crew, and they were drinking wine mixed with Coke, red wine and Coke.
Oh, bamboos.
And and Dom was battling Elliot and the Big L's in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
And there was fucking red wine and Coca-Cola all over the house, and good times.
That's when Elliot's bag got stolen as well, eh?
Oh, that's right.
And then we went up on, was it True School? And had to freestyle over 93 to Infinity beat. It's funny that was my life, not even that long ago.
Oh, shit.
Do you still drink bamboos?
I wouldn't say no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all right.
Today we got a nice beer called Blue Moon. I wonder who distros that, because they should sponsor us.
Belgian style, maybe Anki knows. Anki's the intern at the Naughty Kids organisation we work for.
Yeah.
The naughty kids.
Yeah, Dom and I look after...
They're not actually naughty at all.
No.
Like, the other day, one of them, like, was like, kept wandering off, and I was like, oh, he's so misbehaved. And I was like, fuck, he's 17. Like, the shit that we were doing at 17. They're actually really... And they're so, like, kind of kind-hearted and shit. I was such a fucking jerk when I was 17.
Yeah, same.
I reckon naughty kids are going to get naughtier.
You reckon?
I got a feeling.
Why is that?
Well, I was up on Gay Road, and there was some sort of 10-year-old violence in Myers Park. And then I saw the violent kids that usually hang out by the library. Well, violent, but, you know, they don't wear shoes and they'll ask you for money aggressively. That they're becoming more and more, they're multiplying.
So you're predicting a steep incline in naughtiness.
I'm thinking it's going to be a good Auckland winter.
Fuck.
And you painted that huge wall recently.
Yeah.
Can you tell the listeners about that?
Yeah. It was really scary. I was scared.
Because you're scared of heights.
I'm not scared of heights, I'm scared of heights that I can't control.
Yeah.
So like aeroplanes and boom lifts if somebody else is driving.
I hate that. I hate heights too.
Yeah. And it was fucked. We ran out of like hydraulic fluid in the main boom about 8 stories high. And then the automatic stabilizer for the cage dropped like that, put us on a 45. And then we couldn't go down.
Fuck.
All the Australians are amused that I was afraid, so I'd have a little group of maybe 20 Australians amused that I was frightened. And then we had to do maybe 45 minutes of fucked up manoeuvring because the people at the ground couldn't bring us down. They couldn't do anything about it. Anyway, this dude Digby, who's like the coolest guy ever, who was driving it, managed to get us to the ground. I got to the ground. Everything was fine. And as soon as I got to the ground, I was shaking.
Yeah.
I couldn't roll a cigarette. And all the Aussies was like, you know, clapping that I had handled it. And the guy came up to me and he said that he was so proud that I was conquering my fears. And I told him, I'm not conquering my fears, I'm experiencing my fears. There's a difference.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
They drove off, 2 hours, came back, and he brought me a rock, like a talisman. Is that what you say? Like a magic rock?
Yeah.
Swear to God, it helped.
Really?
And the next day I was up there again, and it broke down again, and it's like really windy, and you got to go down at 43 knots, and it was windier than 43, and we couldn't go down. Got to the ground, rubbing the rock, because I need my courage. This tiny little lady from Sydney came along, told me all about the rock, proving that it was magic, and gave me another magic rock.
I've always been skeptical of magic rocks, but...
I'm telling you, man.
Alright, maybe I'll get a magic rock. Maybe we could get a magic rock company to sponsor the podcast.
That'd be cool. I'm going to take anything at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was in Adelaide, eh?
Yeah.
I just spilled beer on your table, Dan. I'm sorry.
Isn't Adelaide a fucking weird place? It's like I haven't been there for a while, but it's a fucking time warp last time I went there.
Yeah, a little bit like that. And then I spent most of my time in Port Adelaide. Have you been there?
Ah, yeah, it's quite nice, eh?
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go to Snowtown?
Nah.
Yeah, don't go to Snowtown.
When I was there, me and Todd went to our friend JJ's for Christmas one year.
Yeah.
And then we just sat and ate like really nice food and drank beer inside for about 3 days. And I was like, fuck, I gotta go outside. And JJ's family said, oh, there's a park up the road, just go up and go. And I was like, oh, all right. And I went up there, and it was just this big mound of dirt, and these two Aboriginal kids fighting on it. So this is not really what I expected.
Adelaide's so weird, man.
What about those people in the mall? Remember that there's the couple and they're just glaring at us and
Yeah,
saying, oh,
yeah.
it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Really? To us, and I was just like, what the fuck?
They found us really disgusting. But
We were,
fair enough, I found pretty much everyone in that mall disgusting as well. So I was like,
yeah, but you had the good manners not to mention it.
yeah, true that, eh? Fucking Adelaide. Love it.
And I wanted to go to Snowtown and no one wanted to go to Snowtown.
Didn't we? I would have been keen, maybe.
No.
Nah, I was just drinking beer, eh, and laying on the hammock.
Fucking Gons was the only one, but he was too drunk to drive.
We should mention at some point too, people should Google Elliot's
Stop you tapping.
art. Fuck, I keep tapping, sorry.
Maybe we can put it like a link to it. Can
Oh,
we
yeah.
do that, Dan? On the
We can.
SoundCloud?
We can.
I'm gonna go say yes.
Okay, so click the link.
Or on the .com, the hownottobeursel.com, we'll put the link up there too, and you can see Elliot's amazing art.
It's incredible. Did you see, so your talk, was that the highest you've ever been up painting?
Yeah, easily.
Did you see that one Owen Dippy just did of the lady?
Nah.
Fuck, it's so big, man. It's terrifying to just look at the painting.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh.
Well, he takes proper steps, 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. I went from 4 to 9.
Yeah.
And it ankle tapped me. I want to go straight back to 6.
Are you like, is that kind of like a thing that you're doing now, like massive pieces?
No, I, like, if I'm going to be honest, I actually just want to step out and become... After looking at Melbourne, I stopped wanting to contribute. And then seeing Sydney, it made me want to contribute again.
How's that?
Like, actually do something. Like, make something. And then I come home, and I've had an awful experience painting in Pukekohe. And all I want to do is just 2 big murals and then step out completely. Just for maybe a year and a bit.
Just do your own shit.
Yeah, to focus on little things. I figure there's enough people out there painting giant murals that
So
nothing
just
will be
step out
missed.
from doing murals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favourite piece of yours was the one with Lucy on the roof.
Ah,
We'll definitely put that one up.
Yeah.
Can you remember that?
What one's that?
It's really super detailed. It's like, it was yellow background, and it's
Yeah.
with vivid, and it's just was it Turakina Street
yeah, it's just that old house.
Oh.
where we all used to live, and it's just fucking rad. It's kind
Yeah.
of like haunting and I don't know, amazing at the same time.
Yeah, I saw something cute recently. I saw Roberta post like a piece you'd done in Christchurch like 9 years ago or something, and it was of her, but you'd never told her you'd done it, so she discovered it through someone else.
Yeah.
And the shadow on the character of her was a character that she used to draw when she was young or something. She
Oh,
said.
yeah, the monster.
Yeah, yeah.
The creepy man.
Yeah, and so she had discovered it and had never known about it, even though it existed for ages, and she was real stoked. I thought that was cute.
Do you remember that time you did the tui down in Christchurch and I was there, but we didn't get to meet up?
You were there?
Yeah, 'cause remember I was coming to see you and then you'd left?
Yeah, it was like that.
Yeah, and so we got to the thing, and there were like these like people standing around, and like they were like, "It's fucking out of it, eh?" And just like bugging out about it. It was so funny. It was like, they were saying, "I wonder who did it."
I loved it down there, man.
I've always
where
had a good time in Christchurch.
Yeah.
Christchurch. I mean, the people were rad.
I got the addresses of all the people that helped me out to send them like a what do you call it when you say I care and write thank you and send paintings or
It's a
something
death
like that? Nah. Well, I just never did it.
Yeah. But I'm sure you intended to at the time.
The list of thank yous is becoming huge.
You need to get an unpaid intern. Maybe Anki could do it now.
Maybe when you just stop doing murals, you'll have enough time to get around to these thank you notes.
Yeah, I keep writing thank you in the kitchen table and then just thinking,
Simon Earl did this tattoo for a poem that I meant to type out and send to him,
Yeah.
but then the typewriter broke, and now I haven't sent it. It's been like a year and a half. I feel so bad. Like, every time I look at it, I think, fuck, I gotta send him the fucking thing, but I don't have and I can't write it by hand because I'm dyslexic and it just would be unreadable.
Fuck, we're terrible way. Like recently I got paid cash to do a sting for someone's like DJ mixes.
yeah.
And so all I gotta say is like, hey, what's up? It's Louis Knox. You're listening to such and such. and the person paid me like months ago, and I only did it like the other week. I was like, fuck, I'm so sorry that like just every week. Oh yeah, I'll be back in the studio this week, but yeah.
But that's, you know, got to expect that from artists.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're not even like
Expecting something promptly from an artist is like expecting fucking X Factor to like exercise morality.
I love how TV3 are trying to play this game where they're like apologizing for.
Oh yeah, and then like fuck, there's all this coverage is so great. Like they love it.
That's why the internet's so good, right? Because it's like, you know, they can't just get away with that shit because those two idiots are just tweeting all that abuse at the woman. Have you seen that?
No.
So basically, he called this woman a cunt. And then, and so she wrote this letter complaining, they published in the paper, and then he was tweeting, you know, I don't apologise, because TV3 apologised, and then he's like tweeted, I don't apologise to that cunt, you know, if she wasn't being such a cunt, I wouldn't have called her a cunt, and then his wife chimed in.
Yeah.
How old are they, man? Like, fucking...
I think they're too young to fucking conduct themselves well in...
They said cunt on TV or cunt on the internet?
On Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But who called who a cunt?
The dude called a 53-year-old mother of like a few children a cunt because, and apparently she was in the right because they were both trying to turn to the bakery. She's turning from one side, he's turning from the other side, and she went in before him as you do according to the road rules. And he was pissed about it because he's Willy Moon and he's fucking...
Got a stupid haircut.
Just an aggressive bastard.
Oh, should we, while we're shitting on Willy Moon, should we look up some of his lyrics?
Are we going to tweet, mate? No, not tweet, Skype? Or is that not happening?
Nah, that's what I said that before, that he didn't want to do it.
Oh.
Because,
statutes of limitation.
he's a firm believer in comeuppance, but he doesn't want to,
Put his name to it.
yeah. He's what a guy though.
We had a good time the other night.
Him telling me that he hit Willy Moon with a bit of 2x4 is like the warmest hug I've ever had. It was so... It's like better than that time when it's better than the time me and Joel Rickaby were doing cocaine at 8 in the morning and watching videos of police getting beaten up.
Joel's back soon.
Are you excited, Als?
Excited or nervous?
I'm going to go to Australia, I reckon.
Oh shit, okay. Do you just want to hear some Willy Moon lyrics?
Sure.
They're fucking scintillating.
They're what?
Scintillating.
What does that mean?
Exciting.
Scintillating.
Great.
I like that word.
Yeah.
I've never heard it before.
You're the one that's supposed to know what words mean. Okay, this song's called Yeah Yeah.
Do you want a beatbox?
No, because I don't. Well, I couldn't possibly. There's the lyrics. Na 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 ooh oh. Na 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 ooh oh. Everybody, well, don't you know it's me now, Willy Moon? Yeah. Who is it? Who is it? Willy Moon. I'm ad-libbing the Willy Moon. Well, he's back with a brand new beat now. Yeah, you doing it. Hey, 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 yeah. Trying to doubt my style? Hey, 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 yeah, how you like me now?
So does he rap?
No, he sings this bullshit. I try to have a little fun now. I stay with my ear and drum now. Shit doesn't it like it's so simple and it doesn't make sense.
Come on now, Willy. You can do better than that.
He can
Maybe he's brain damage from the 2x4 to the head.
Fuck, I hope so. Fuck, maybe that would explain his fucking mood swings.
Fucking irrational behaviour.
So maybe our friend isn't a hero and he's a villain.
I wouldn't say that.
No, he's definitely a hero.
He's one of my heroes. A close friend and a hero.
Be good if we could get Willy Moon on the podcast.
I reckon there's...
and our friend that hit him with the 2x4. Like,
surprise! Just come on,
just everyone drove with the wood, like.
It'd be great if we could find the original bit of wood as well.
Oh, man.
Shit.
It's a beautiful piece of timber.
So if you, like... I had a question, but it's sort of slowly evaporating in my drug-addled mind.
On this week's edition of Dom is Smarter Than He Looks, he asks Al the question.
People definitely think I'm smarter than I am. How would you do... I have a question, I'm just trying to think how to phrase it.
Alright.
Okay, but for people listening that haven't seen your stuff, how would you describe it? Like...
That's a good one.
Because your style is so idiosyncratic.
I don't know.
It's almost like you don't have a filter, you know what I mean?
It's just drawings, really. But
Not really selling it, Oz.
oh yeah,
But what I mean though is I guess like for myself, like I always have to keep checking that I'm not putting these filters in front of myself. Like I'm not thinking about what other people are going to think, or I'm not worrying about this and that. Whereas it seems with you, it just sort of flows out. Like you don't have those, naturally don't seem to have filters.
yeah. I make shit up, and then once it's out, I'll have a look at it,
Yeah.
and then it will probably make more sense. And I figure if I think about it while I'm doing it, I'm probably going to hiccup myself. So you have to keep on freestyling. But thank God I'm not on the radio. You know, I can mend it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then upon reflection that you have something. So I figure like most of the things I see are people who just work from an image or something like that. And so I feel like there's something missing from it where, you know, you can, I don't know, find something that you like from a National Geographic and paint it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that doesn't really fucking reflect very much towards a contribution towards helping people. If you're going to go and look at a mural or experience any kind of artwork, you could just buy a National Geographic.
Yeah.
You know, we live in National Geographic.
I think
Might as well draw it.
I think like a good illustration of how your art's kind of filterless is, I saw that interview of you and you say,
Tapping.
fuck, and I saw you say, so if I like how the person in my painting is dressed, I might dress like them. So like, you know, you've painted someone and then you're like, oh, hold on, they look cool.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
So how much, I mean, what is it though that you're trying to, is there something particularly you're trying to express? Do you know what I mean? Because your stuff is often, I guess, is, you know, it's obviously really influenced by your surroundings. But is it that sort of, is that just influencing your work and coming out like that, or are you deliberately taking that and presenting that to the world?
Don't know, column A, column B.
Mm-hmm.
Like the things that I'm interested in at the moment are things that I don't want to paint. And so I'm interested in birds, I'm interested in plants, I'm interested in the plants that are growing on the plant. And so like lichen and moss.
Yeah.
But I can't stop being interested in it. And so eventually it hasn't even bleeded out into my paintings. But I know that eventually I'm going to become maybe a nature painter or something like that.
Wow.
But I don't want to.
But-
It's just like I can feel like a swollen thing that's growing, too much to carry. It has to be released.
But you could do that well though as well. Like it wouldn't have to be shit.
Probably, but I should have to learn more as well. Like, why should I paint things I don't know about or anything about?
What about pigs?
Still into drawing pigs.
So you find your art is quite often then retrospective of your interests, like not always completely. Like I find this with my music, so
Yeah, it's the same.
I can't like express it in a song until I've like really processed the interest or just
Why don't you half it?
we can just say that we can say on the podcast. Can I have a beer?
Right now we're trying to get a beer.
There's a lot of like hand signals going on, like it's a fucking some sort of crazy operation just to get a beer from the fridge over there that we
Go
can.
and third a beer up then.
No, I don't want one. You else half it.
I'll go half.
Yeah, I like that.
So you find that as well?
Yeah, I definitely do. I reckon that's the way to go.
Mm.
I think it's nice if you do something smart and you plan it for a long time.
Yeah.
And so you're going to get all of the things of just naturally happens.
Yeah.
And then for most things, because we live here and you have to keep on just go, that you might as well just puke every time and reflect on it later.
Yeah, yeah.
And then stitch it later on.
Yeah, I think often you don't actually really understand how you feel about a certain feeling or subject or thing
Totally,
until
that's why you're fucking
while
doing
you're
it.
in it. Like, yeah.
That's why I worry, because like when I do get to paint and I don't want it to be something that the whole neighbourhood gets to see, so I don't get to go up to Main Street or any place like a behind the food town or something.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to see it, so I can't, and I need to paint in a certain way. It's not me just drawing nude chicks in my bedroom. I actually need to do it.
Yeah.
So I go out and I'll do it, but I also need the freedom of not being, what do you call it, when people view and it feels,
Observed.
you feel exposed.
Right, yeah, yeah.
And so I want always to do this stuff because I need to reflect on it. It's therapy.
Yeah.
And I'm worried about it because there's less and less areas where you get to be able to express yourself in that way.
Yeah.
And
Do you think there'll be a time where you'll just desert Central Auckland?
I don't know.
Like a sinking ship?
It's
Yeah,
hard to,
it's because the place is fucked, man.
it is
It's really fucked, especially after looking at Australians and them complaining about things, and it's like, you've got nothing to fucking complain about.
Well, I think the thing with Melbourne, at least, is that because the public transport's so good that when something gets gentrified, everyone just moves to another area and that becomes the next area, and it's sort of... and obviously that's a finite solution, but in Auckland you can't really do that.
Dude, areas that aren't even gentrified, like Pakuranga, a house in Pakuranga, I looked on the internet, on Edgewater Drive, and I'm not good at maths and numbers, but it was close to like $1 million.
In Pakuranga.
Edgewater Drive, and it's like, what are you going to see? You open up, it smells like shit, you're going to see a pylon, sorry Pakuranga, and like, it's not fair.
It's crazy though. Like I was discussing this with Dom the other week because like been looking at housing, and you know, before I left to go live in Australia, you could go like, you know, you could go Mount Albert or Roskill and get cheaper rent. Now, now the rent in those places is pretty much the same as rent in Ponsonby, Greyland, City. Like the price rise is just spreading, and like, fuck, you have to like go way the fuck out if you want cheap rent.
Me and Todd are thinking of moving to the country.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of going bush too, complete lawlessness. I want to live in a log cabin and shed in the bush. I figure it's like, it's just way better.
Yeah.
It's better for you.
I wouldn't mind having a toilet stool, but I want to get out of that.
I'm pro toilet.
Well, yeah, we're thinking about Titirangi maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe even a bit further, depending on...
But then it gets sad. Like I thought, because I wanted to write, like after I get my murals out of the way and all of my year planning, which has turned into just a total, complete lie, because you can make a plan, but life's going to keep being life. People are still going to have birthdays. And so you can't get ahead.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, how the hell am I going to do my larger projects if I'm still living inside of a house with people? I thought, well, I'll go to Rotorua. I'll be left alone. But then it's just so unstimulating.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to Rotorua though. I mean, you can go like if I was not going to live here, I'd live in like maybe Port Chalmers or Waiteri, or go into Rangi, or you go Northland. Like go to places that are inspiring, you know.
Rotorua is inspiring, but it's just like I need
horrible,
the Gatling gun of life. Like
stop
1,000 conversations with 1 million lunatics on the way to the shop.
You need K Road.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect, like, it's not so
But then,
busy.
if you live like one of those smaller communities though, like you know, Port Chalmers or something, it's like you're going to have that same thing. It's just it's more concentrated. You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like I guess it's dependent on the art you're doing too. Because you look at St. John, and like now he lives out in the forest. I'm like, do you still take photos? And he's like, oh, my iPhone. And like, he's an incredible photographer, man.
Yeah.
Like, and the way he operates, he needs to be in that fucking messed up environment. Like, he needs to be somewhere ultra stimulating and.
Yeah, but I think I don't know. I definitely know for myself. When I lived in Titirangi, like my work just changed to suit that environment, and
Yeah.
I loved it. You know, I mean, I only moved out because Hayden fucked off overseas. I was living at his house, but I loved it out there.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen to get out there.
I'm going to have to do something like that if I want to
We're
develop.
thinking about adopting one of the kids that we look after and bringing him out there.
Definitely not.
Yeah,
Which one?
Freddie.
Freddie, we're gonna feed him just feed him whole chickens.
That's your plan. I didn't sign off on that.
Yeah,
I didn't-
it's what he wants.
Are you going to like take him to the countryside and train him to become the best he can be?
The best whole chicken eater.
Well, the
in
best that we can train anyone to be. I don't know how good that is, but it's definitely better than Willy Moon. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
He's not going to make Willy Moon's mistakes. Or his fucking wife. What's his wife called?
Natalia Kills. That's not a real name. Willy Moon's not his real name.
Really? They both got fake names.
No, yeah.
I wonder when they got married if they were like, should we swap stupid fake names?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, fuck, it just got really nice and dark in here.
Yeah, it's good.
This is more like it. Now I'm gonna get down to some serious shit.
What do you think about podcasting so far, Elliot?
That's good.
Yeah.
Like a more intense conversation. Just more dangerous.
In what sense?
What if I backstab someone or something?
We can just edit
Fucking
it out.
nah, do it, man. Well, like we're gonna employ some X Factor tactics for the podcast because
Yeah.
we need more listens. So if you backstab someone, that would be beautiful.
Like backstab, aim for the stars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
try get in the Herald. Do
Like
something.
maybe an All Black or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate the All Blacks. That's new.
Oh, speaking of sportsmen, this came up last night. It's interesting. It's a New Zealand sporting hero, and I was in a room with two people who, both from unrelated accounts, know that the dude smokes meth. Know people that smoke meth with him.
Who's it?
I can't say, man.
Oh, you
That's
can say, oh, we bleep it out. I'm just curious.
we'll bleep it out.
Who's that?
Yeah, the hero, like the nice guy image. Oh shit! So you can bleep all that as well.
Okay, a lot of bleeping.
But yeah, so
He's awesome.
he's an incredible player. Man.
You got upset when I came to the game, didn't you?
I got upset when fell when he was playing against the. Oh, sorry.
I don't.
Yeah.
So it's unrelated.
Oh,
trying to cover the tracks.
No, this has been a lot of beeping for Dan.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
right?
Oh, keep me busy.
Well, me and Elliot went to a Warriors game together.
That's an unlikely, just whole fucking scenario to me. I'm trying to picture it.
it was wonderful. Like what happened was me and Johnny painted the gym for the Warriors. And they gave us season pass. I got 5 tickets.
Oh, sweet.
So whenever I wanted to go watch the Warriors.
And you enjoy a bit of rugby league?
Well, I didn't at first, and then like, because I like watching it in the park,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
just more brutal, and I
Yeah,
prefer
yeah.
the women's league
Yeah.
because it's just more brutal. And
Yeah.
then started going, I felt like an imposter, and I felt like people in the crowd would know that I truly wasn't a supporter.
You felt like a Warriors fan in artist clothing.
Yeah.
Wait.
But then it just took me a little while. I realised everything's art, like
Yeah.
the way that each one of the Warriors players,
Yeah,
individual
yeah.
to themselves. And so, actually, they're all artists, and any artist that hates sports can go fuck themselves because then they don't know what art
I'm
is.
not that fond of sport.
Yeah, but you know, I'm not fond of ballet, but I can still appreciate what it is. You know, it's like
Are you just not a fan of the culture more so than the sport?
I am not a fan of I'm not a fan of like that. Yeah, that kind of what's it, like, that herd mentality. But also, I find league and rugby incredibly boring. I don't mind cricket, and I like martial arts.
I loved the league because I felt like I was a part of society. Like I felt like I'm a person. I go to sports games. You know, and
Yeah, but it wasn't really like
Kind of the same feeling you get when you like buy a newspaper or do something weird that you've seen adults do.
Yeah, I felt like I'm one of the real people.
Yeah,
None of
yeah.
you know that I'm not one of you. And by the end of the season, I fucking loved it.
Mm.
And then,
I'm into league in a big way.
oh, it's huge. Yeah, it's the best. And then what I got to do was I got to go and watch a rugby game of the All Blacks versus Australia in, what is it fucking called? Eden Park.
Yeah.
And I was so excited. And off we went. And I'm amped, you know, because
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I'm seeing the fucking All Blacks. And
Yeah.
I know about sports now. And seen a whole season. And went there. There's 50,000 people in a stadium. They're all dressed in black. It was like a fucking funeral. Nobody celebrates. We won the game, and nobody was high-fiving. There was no
'Cause
arm
of
in
how
arm, no
critical
brotherhood.
people are of the All Blacks.
Yeah, it's
Like,
just respect the field, watch the game. There was a
yeah.
Mexican wave towards half-time, and in the newspaper the next day it complained that people weren't taking the game serious enough. What the fuck are they Mexican waving for?
Wow.
And I was like, because it's entertainment, you fucking idiots.
Yeah.
What is wrong with this country?
Yeah, I think league fans are more fun.
Hard out.
Cricket fans, maybe not so much. I'm a big cricket fan. People get real surprised at that.
Yeah, because it's the best.
At least
Yeah.
you can win some money being a cricket fan, catching that ball.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Damn.
And there's that little moment of intensity just towards the end.
Mm.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. Back to what I was saying before, though, about sports stars. Like, because a lot of them, right, they're young men with money and means, and they're just like, fuck, I would be terrible. But so because I've discovered this firsthand, I had a night out with like some professional athletes, sport I won't name, team I won't name, but doing a lot of cocaine with them during their season, like chain smoking cigarettes. And they're just like doing coke with me in the bathroom. I just met them. Like, I was so indiscriminate. I was like, wow, you guys are fucking out of control.
They're animals.
Yeah.
They're all animals.
Well, especially a lot of those. I mean, I'm not so much sure about cricket, but like league and rugby and stuff. It's quite often people that are from like lower decile schools and don't, you know what I mean, and they get picked and taken up that way for scholarships and shit. So you got people that, just aren't prepared for it at all. I mean, not that you'd ever be prepared for it.
Yeah, because a lot of them get recruited like straight out of high school as well. So, it's a very young man being given a lot of entitlement. And
I just think, I don't know, it just fucks me off the way the media puts so much fucking importance on it though in this country. It's just ridiculous. It's like, you know what I mean? And I don't know, anytime that something's like got mass corporate sponsorship, it's always so dubious of it. Because it's obviously like serving a purpose that those people or those corporations can get behind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That is the saddening part of it.
And we shouldn't even be like focusing on sports when we got awesome shit like X Factor
Exactly.
to entertain us. Like.
But maybe that's the thing. You've got the All Blacks, you've got X Factor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about anything else.
I can't wait till people are saying the How Not to Be an Asshole podcast in the same I
don't know why you guys are called that. That's almost like How to Be an Asshole.
Oh, come on now.
Insult the whole country.
Hey.
We're not insulting the whole country. Just Rotorua and what's the other shitty place?
The All Blacks
Nelson.
and X Factor.
Pakuranga.
I don't have nothing against Pakuranga.
I don't even know if I've ever been to Pakuranga, to be honest.
When people should always keep in mind that if I shit on a place in New Zealand, I'm from New Plymouth, so just remember that you don't have to be offended. But yeah, I think the name of the podcast is kind of tongue in cheek.
Well, it's because Richie was going to be involved, Richie Hardcore, and so it was going to be like super positive, and then he was too busy, and then it was too late to change the name, so and here we are.
We should be more positive, maybe.
All right.
Oh, pretty positive.
I was spiraling down a dark hole.
We're making you depressed.
Hey, think about the All Blacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the All Blacks are depressing.
It's massively depressing.
Maybe that should...
Oh, so yeah, okay. Speaking of sports and assholes, Tony Veach, there's a...
Yeah. Is that the one that beat up his...
That broke his wife's spine? Yeah, so he was on his Facebook today saying how atrocious the bullying on the X Factor was. It's the guy that broke his wife's or his girlfriend's spine. Some people are crazy, right? Like, wouldn't you just be like, man, I might just tuck my head on this one and not say anything. I might not.
Was it an NFL player that dragged his girl out?
Was it Ray Rice?
Did Vici have anything to say about that?
I wonder. Because I'd like to hear his opinion on violence against women.
I bet he stayed real quiet.
Yeah.
Fuck, what a piece of shit, man.
Yeah. Actual piece of shit actions.
I guess people, they just get money and they get a lot of attention and they just feel like they can do whatever the fuck they want. Although that said, you'd have to be a bit fucked in the head anyway. Like, I don't think, it's not like everyone's going to get rich and then start breaking their girlfriend's spine.
No, there must be something wrong beforehand.
A little bit.
So we're going to be positive, eh?
Yeah, okay, positive. So the storm didn't end up being much, Cyclone Pam. For New Zealand, so I shouldn't diminish it. Oh, it's fucked up Vanuatu.
Yeah.
Let's not be positive either.
Fuck. See, everything's depressing.
Yeah, I was gutted that it didn't even fuck anything up. Not a tree fell down.
I wanted to in New Zealand.
My bed got real wet. I went out and left my window open.
Same here.
So
what got really wet?
My bed.
Oh, really?
Same with ours.
I was walking down the street and it was deserted. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Got high and walked down the street for a little while.
Man, what's that movie? There's probably a few with the same premise, but everyone on Earth just disappears. Not the New Zealand one. It was an American one. 28
hours later, 28 hours later? 28 days?
No, it was like, it's an older film. But anyway, I remember I would have been about 15 or 16, and when you're that age and you're like starting to like get into heavy marijuana smoking and like it's still quite buzzy and shit. So I watched that at someone's house, and then like I had to walk home in New Plymouth on like a Tuesday at like 2 a.m. or something in the morning, and there was like not a car, just like street lights on, and just for like the whole walk home, like no no proof of existence of life, and I was just like, whoa, this is out of it. This is just like the movie.
I got a good stone story, and this has happened like 2 nights ago. I was like lying in bed, and I was fucking so stoned. You know, like when you get like all twitchy?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God, I've overdone it now. And this sort of big spider was crawling up the wall on the other side, and I was like, I should probably knock him down because he's going to get on the roof and he'll probably fall on me. And then it's like, nah, the roof's... Because my room's quite big, you know? And so he got on the roof and he's just running around the corners of the roof for a while. And I just forgot about it, and I was like reading or something, and it fell on my fucking face.
God.
What's the chances? And I was just so stoned, and oh, it's the worst. You know, like normally that would just be like, what? But yeah, no, it wasn't the one.
Nature knows when you're stoned and it
But
gets
what's
you.
the chances? It's like in a big fucking room, on landing on my face, and I thought about it happening. Usually, if you think about something happening, it doesn't happen.
Yeah. You can ward it off with like your preemptive thoughts.
Oh, it's the worst.
Like that could happen, then it doesn't happen.
You guys know about the big marijuana drought that's happened?
Fucking
yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, it sucks.
Really crazy. People who I haven't talked to in 8 years are ringing me up. It's like, hey man, how have you been? Heard you got married. Do you know where to get any weed?
Yeah. Yeah, I had a kid that's supposed to be a drug dealer ask me if I knew where to get an ounce.
Yeah.
It's like, aren't you the drug dealer?
Drug dealers are
Well, what happened?
asking
Because
me.
there's that big bust, but then it was also, wasn't it something to do with the weather?
I have no idea. Something
think-
to do with whether there was a drought, and so cops could keep catching people who were going to water their plants twice, and
Oh,
people
yeah.
were trying to water their plants at night, and it's kind of like, what are you up to, walking around with your water at night?
Why can't they just let people just smoke marijuana?
Doesn't make sense.
None.
Doesn't make enough sense. And then also people without marijuana are more dangerous, because now I can't go to sleep or relax or do any kind of work.
I've got a little bit if you want some.
No, it's fine. I got a tiny bit at home.
You hear that, Willy Moon? We give our guests weed.
Yeah.
If you'd like
Yeah.
to come on.
Oh, poor Wilson.
Yeah.
Do you reckon his real name's Willy?
I think his real name is William. I got it on my phone if you want, because the Willy Moon 2x4 basher mentioned his real name. I think it was William Sinclair or some bullshit.
What are we doing for time, Dan?
47.
47. Fuck, we've got ages to go.
Anything you particularly would like to discuss, Alf? This is your big
This
moment.
never goes well when we ask people that. We should
No,
probably that's why I said that we should maybe count some questions.
Okay, I had some.
What was one of them?
Do you
Oh,
think
who's-
animals can tell when you're stoned?
I don't get stoned anymore, so I wouldn't.
Every so often you get stoned, but never when I'm there.
Yeah. Once I was on mushrooms and someone made me hold a baby. That was fucked
fuck.
up. Crying baby.
Oh,
That's not a good trick.
No,
That's a
horrible.
terrible trick, eh?
Yeah.
I was on acid. We played at a festival recently, and we were all on acid except for Todd. And then he made us get in the car and drive back, and
Oh.
it was just wild.
Oh, that's right. Because these idiots, so like, everyone, we went to this festival and everyone knows that we're too old for this shit. The whole group we're with, they were like, and fucking, they're like, oh, this is so weird and it's pretty lame. Like, there ain't shit happening here. There's not much good music. And then these guys take some acid and like see some lights, and all of a sudden they're like, nah, we're gonna stay. And
That was amazing, man. Like Todd was like trying to get us to leave, and we're like standing there, just oh my god, it's like someone's put fairy lights in those trees.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we're gonna stay
And
all
all the
night.
music
Yeah, just fucking horrible dance music pumping through the forest and fucking some idiots driving.
Yeah, but then we
around.
got home and you just went to fucking sleep, and then
I hung out with you for quite a while.
oh, that's right, you're playing music.
Yeah.
Everyone was criticizing it. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, what are you so picky for?
Yeah.
And then bloody Scott started wanting to have that conversation. Scott from DFDHD's like, what are we doing with our life? And I was like, fuck this, I'm gonna be here tomorrow.
Yeah, run.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what's kind of... Acid is one substance where if you're not on it, the people can still be tolerable.
Yeah.
And perhaps quite entertaining. Like other drugs and alcohol, if you're not doing it and other people
Yeah.
are, they fucking suck. But acid people are usually quite entertaining if you're...
It depends on people's tolerances as well.
Yeah.
I like talking to an ultimately stoned person. If
Yeah.
I'm not stoned, I think it's funny. Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
had-
meth's not the one, eh?
No.
If someone's on meth, they're trying to have
Yeah.
a chat with you.
I had a great night with your sister when I was on acid once.
Oh,
Because
shit.
at
Knock
this
the mic over.
at this
Sorry,
MC,
Dan.
at this MC battle.
Don't shake your head at me, please.
And I ran into her, and I was like, fuck, I need to like hang out with someone bizarre because
I'm tripping balls.
yeah. And I saw your sister, and I was like, fuck yeah. And we ended up having a wild adventure. We attacked some people and spied on some other people, and
She's really good for that kind of thing.
yeah.
All of those things are fun as well, I reckon.
Yeah, it was such a good night. That was like one of the best acid trips I've ever had because your sister was the best person to hang out with when you're fucking crazy high.
When was the last time you reckon you've been to a decent rap battle, man?
Fuck. I can't even remember the last time I went to a rap battle.
I remember the last ones I went to was about 6 to 8 years ago.
Yeah, I'd say about the same. I'm so uninterested in it now. Like,
What are we talking about?
rap battles?
Oh god.
No, because there was a time and a place for it.
They were awesome back in the day. Like, I remember...
But do you think it's just that we're old, or is it just it had its time? Both.
Maybe a bit of both.
It lost it.
Mm.
Yeah, well now it's like a big fucking nerd fest.
Yeah.
Because there's just, I don't know. I guess the improvising side of it sort of meant that it was a bit kind of, you didn't know, it was a bit chaotic. You didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. Whereas now everyone's writing it. And not to take, I mean, some of these people are so fucking talented, but, you know, it just, I think you can tell it's kind of not really the one when there's only one gender at something.
Yeah.
So if it's, you know, it's just
Yeah,
all dudes
hard
in
out.
caps looking a little bit sexually frustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that.
And the one sad thing we don't have in rap battles now is Word Perfect's not there, so you can't just go and abuse him while he's on stage. That was my favourite part of rap battles. I flicked a cigarette at him once when he was hosting and we just screaming abuse at him and shit. Like,
Oh dear.
so much fun.
Fuck, it was quite a strange time.
It was a real fucking weird time, man.
You know, like, it wasn't that conducive to good creativity, but it was quite a fun time. You know what I mean? Because, like, no one knew what the fuck they're doing. It was really hard to get good beats. Like, the production values, everything sucked. But then it was like...
Man,
you know,
that one I met you at that Higgs entered, we, like, fucking made a weekend of it. Like, we drove up from New Plymouth in a van. Like, we got some guy we didn't really know or particularly like who owned a van, like, convinced him to drive us up. And fucking... I ended up, like, that dude slept in the van one night when we were in Auckland, and I had heaps of Roman candles, and I just went in, like, firing Roman candles at him to wake him up and shit. Like, he had a horrible weekend, I reckon. Fuck. Oh, my goodness.
what's one of your fond memories of that time, Dan?
What?
The mid-2000s? Yeah, early 2000s.
It was early.
Well, when did you turn up? When did you pop along? No, you, because when I did Johnny Favourite, you were there then. Because I did some of the tracks with you. That's 2004.
Yeah, I can't remember shit really. Of that era of
That sweaty little vocal booth you had.
That was still pretty good though.
I remember like Jared just saying, just take all your clothes off except for your boxes when you're going because it's too hot.
That would be the one time where Jared encouraged you to take your clothes off.
Yeah.
All other times he would have
He didn't
been
like it.
firm
He
believer
frowned
in-
upon it.
Firm believer in staying clothed.
Oh. It was fun when so many things were taboo.
Fuck, it's gonna be good when we have Jared on the podcast because he's gonna, like, I reckon he'll have different versions of certain events and, like, things that we don't even remember. You know, it's like with your family when you could swear they're telling lies about you, but they're like, nah, you did that or this happened. And
Oh, that happens to me all the time still.
same.
He's sharp though and brainy,
Yeah.
so always different.
And tenacious.
And he cared. He tried to carry everyone.
Yeah, man. Yeah. He sacrificed a lot for other
It
people.
was just like 7 years too early, eh?
Yeah.
Because if he was around now, it would all fall into place.
Yeah.
You know, because it's because you gotta think even YouTube wasn't really around then. You
No,
know,
it
people were
wasn't.
fucking with MySpace and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They try and promote something on fucking MySpace.
Yeah, like the idea of doing a music video then was like try and get on TV. Otherwise, there wasn't a point of making one.
Yeah.
Because
And it was like, okay, you can't have any drinking or smoking, and you can't have this and
Yeah,
that.
the rules were still applied to even concerts
yeah,
where you're performing in front of a whole group of actual adults or meant to be
It's weird to
adults.
think, eh?
so the other night at the show we had, we didn't get like a good turnout, but fuck, the show was so cool regardless. But
Where was it?
Wine
at
cellar.
Wine Cellar.
Alright.
So I had my DJ and my hype man for the show, and we're at my house, and we're like, oh, we should get some drinks for after the show, so we can go to mine afterwards. And then I was like, we're discussing like splitting the cost and stuff, and I was like, oh fuck, we'll just take it out the show money. And it was like $80 for a bottle in a box, and then get to the show and see there's like 20 people there. Like, fuck, there goes all the show money.
Yeah, it was fucking weird.
Yeah.
It was cool though. I had heaps of hecklers, which I always like. Some fucking dickhead was playing the harmonica, like during my set.
Who?
Just, I know I couldn't tell if he was drunk or like had mental problems, but
Oh, he's on meth.
bugging out. And then some other guy was screaming like about his girlfriend and meth, and so I just did love poems for a while to calm him down. Then he left.
I can't tell if I'm feeling nostalgic, but I feel like this winter is going to be fucked.
In a good way.
In the fucked way. Yeah.
So
Well, that house
interesting.
you're in looks like it's gonna be pretty cold.
Yeah, well, I've already done one winter in it. I just got my feeling about it.
Where you live in Greyland?
Greyland on Ariki Street in a
like-
damp
One of the
villa.
original houses still standing, you know.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can poke your finger through the wall if you wanted to.
I saw. Well, I didn't see it, but someone else was applying for it and offered me a room if they got it. But they found a place in Greyland, 4 bedrooms for $460 a week.
What was wrong with it?
It must have been so fucked to be going for that price, man. Like,
There's always those houses, like there's one on Williamson Ave where you watch people move into it and then you watch them move out within the same week. So each time you walk into Food Town, you're watching like a whole bunch of hopeful 18-year-olds wagging their tails. And then the next week, you're watching them all moving back to their
Yeah,
parents.
there is that one in Williamson, eh? It's
Yeah.
just got, even just standing outside, you get a bad vibe from it. Like,
do you reckon maybe like the listing on Trade Me, the headline says riddled with hair lice and meningitis?
that should be the name of the podcast.
Riddled with lice and meningitis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Should we wrap it up then?
What's the time, Dan?
56.
I just once again, can we reiterate, we need a sponsor. We don't need one, a sponsor needs us.
Yeah, we could, you might not think it, but we have a lot to offer your company.
Should we do an example? We'll be like, okay, so say Blue Moon Belgian White Belgian Star Wheat Ale was our sponsor.
Alright, it'd be like,
Fuck me, this Belgian White Belgian Star Wheat Ale called Blue Moon is the most delicious beer I've ever drank. And it's 5.4%. Would you fucking believe it?
5.4%?
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
Perfect for ailing your hair, lice and meningitis.
If you want to get pissed up on booze, then look no further than Blue Moon Belgian White.
Okay, no, that's right. We got a segment.
You and your segments. Every week he tries to fucking have a segment.
Segments of the show. Okay, this is this week's segment.
Alright.
And the segment's called Pissed Up on the Old Booze. Like, okay, Als, have you ever been pissed up on the old booze?
A little bit.
Yeah. And that's this week's Pissed Up on the Old Booze, and I just whacked the table again.
Dun,
so
dun,
it should
dun, dun,
play.
dun. Is that us, Kaz?
Yeah. Choice, thanks very much, Als.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elliot. It's been real.
Do we shake hands?
Yeah, you can. Excellent.
Awesome.